Hi there and welcome back to Tyranny. You know how it's Healer's Day and we are the law. And yeah, we have just stormed the Duskwatch fort after we have secretly opened the doors and stuff. We're just plundering now, and then we'll see what the new story brings. So let's see. Of course we want everything. I mean, it's our... Oh, look at that. A superior bronze sword. That's going to be interesting. There's a lot to be taken here, and we will take it all. And then we'll talk to Osmios and Kyros. They have a lot to tell, probably.
Moving cautiously.
Let's see what we can get here. Oh, more camping supplies. We don't need them. An iron walker resting now. Let's see what's here. Wow, do we have to go all the way around? If I knew that. Right. Let's do that. Let's get the loot, so to say, out of the way. Because, yeah, it's so easy to forget something. The supply routes outlined on the map weave in and out of the disfigured terrain that was once stalwart. Interesting. So they're looking for the supplies. We have an unbroken helm here. It's about the same as our helm.
Good thing I keep a torsion wrench handy.
And look at that. Wow, an iron glaive, a superior iron glaive. Looks pretty good. I'm sure we'll get something new. And oh, a short bow. A fine short bow, that is. And what's here? Ah, there were the camping supplies, of course. And we are a little wounded, but it's all okay. It was really a tough fight, mostly because I scrambled up the movement. For some reason, our total tanks Lantry and Verse ran first. And there are no tanks at all. Yeah, let's talk to them both. Let's talk to Kyros. Maybe he has something to say now. Kyros, Osmios greets the former prisoner with open arms. Gravenash told us to seek you out. He shows you great favor. Barik. Kyros squints up at your companion. I hardly recognize you under there. I'd say you're a sight for sore eyes, but you look terrible. You mean he doesn't always resemble a walking bucket of awful feces and rust? Call me surprised, Rose says. Glad to see you in one piece, Kyros. Soldier winces as he tries to stand tall. I'm relieved to see my countrymen again, but give me a moment. I'm still weak from my wounds. Ash's protection has kept me alive, but these unbroken can be relentless when they want something. He looks up. Glad to see you alive, soldier. I don't think I got your name earlier. I'm Jacob the Lord Red, a Fatebinder of Tunon. Hail! Hail! A Fatebinder so far from court. Turns to Osmios with a questioning glance. Never considered myself important enough to have Tunon's attention, but I've also been cut off for the last year and change. Seems like the war hasn't improved in my absence. Are you well enough to talk? You're good to ask. This reprieve from the interrogators helps. My wounds are closing with Ash's protection, though. I wish it helped my memory. Some things you can't forget and pierce deeper than arrows. Who are you first, soldier? I'm just a stone shield, but I was bound to serve Graven Ash's daughter, Amelia. His voice falters. It was my pride to fight at her side, and my great shame when Stratus Herodin's forces overpowered and captured our unit. The old regent may be 10 times as stubborn as his people, but he lacks none of their might. So I haven't come to judge you just to get the truth. No, that's not true. I have come to judge everyone. So let's just ask about Ash's daughter. Because neglecting his duties, we don't know if he has done that. Maybe it was just unlucky. Amelia didn't die on the field that day. We were both taken prisoner, but I was moved here and made to suffer. The edict hit shortly after, and I assume stymied any effort to recover us. If Stratus isn't a fool, then he's keeping her alive as a hostage for some future negotiation ploy. By Kyros, this confirms everything my legion fought for. She survived capture, that means there is a chance. I have it from Ash personally, that he's felt a connection to his daughter. He frowns. In fact, it's grown stronger for some reason. You have your orders, Fatebinder. The General demands that we take Sentinel stand, recover Amelia, and put an end to these storms at last. Yeah, let's be objective here. The General's feelings aside, how can we be sure that Amelia is alive? Blinks at you. I don't know how they do things in Tunon's Corps, but in the Iron Legion we accept the great General's instincts, especially when it comes to the well-being of his soldiers. You would do well to remember that. He gestures to Callias, and if this one confirms that Amelia's unit was taken alive, I have no reason to doubt him. We're always doubting. We have much to learn. How do the Unbroken intend to get inside Sentinel's stand? Did you overhear them? I overheard a lot from my pen, even saw the Unbroken leader Matthias a few weeks past. Matthias had the others convinced that some old stalwart artifact would help resist Kyros' storms. He planned on using it, to let the Unbroken pass the wind wall and enter Sentinel's stand. He frowns. Artifacts are strange business, but the Unbroken dedicated enough resources to the task of finding one that I would take it to heart. Tell me about these artifacts. Artifacts are items of great power. They could be anything, a cloak pin, a pair of shoes, a fancy comb. Many of them resemble ordinary objects you might carry or wear, but they can do remarkable things. Interesting. Part of how the regions maintained their dynasty was by way of inheritance. Houses Stratus, Sender, and Aspison amassed over the centuries a small trove of relics and guarded them fiercely down the generations. There's the magical sword, the Dauntless. Whomever the lead regent was always wore a fancy helmet, and one of them owned an ever-burning lamp. Among other things, Lantry says. Now lots of these artifacts are scattered. But I'm certain that before the war, every thief in the bastard city has a private fantasy about a haste on Sentinel stand keep. I've heard tell of artifacts that could open doors, melt flesh, or set whole camps ablaze with nothing more than a simple gesture. It's not beyond reason that an artifact should shield someone from the worst of these storms. Just tell me where Matthias and his forces, and I'll be on my way. He dispatched a large number of soldiers to Rust Canyons. He wouldn't have depleted Duskwatch of its defenders unless he believed in what he was doing. It's the best news I've heard in some time. There are plenty of disfavored operating in the area around Rust Canyons, and it's only a matter of time before they overwhelm our enemies. Osmias nods to you. To us. Report to Graven Ash in Ironhearth and tell him of the situation. He'll need to know what is happening here. Both sides make for Sentinel stand, but one of our commanders is in the area already. He can hold the line while you speak with Ash. Alright, will we do that? We'll totally do that. Let's report back to Mr. Ash. Oh, we can totally go there and rest for a day. And then pick up the supplies. I think that's good. Let's rest for a bit. Now that feels better. And it's also day now. Much better. Oh, let's open up here. Or let's just leave the way here. Then let's get back to Iron Hearth. Let's see, Duskwatch 4, there's Sentinel Stand, there's Iron Hearth. Where's that canyon though? Can we see that already? Not really. Might be somewhere here or here. We'll probably get that info when we report to Graven Ash. So let's do that. Pretty curious. Oh, and it's dark again. Let's follow the steps of our soldiers. Gloomy atmosphere. And it's Judgment Day, and we are the law again. Let's see about that, Graven Ash. Fatebinder, it's good of you to report in. These days it is difficult enough to judge friend from foe. I'm pleased to recognize you as the former of the two. Ash favors you with a court nod. I see you brought the voices of Nerat's spying whore to my doorstep. Lest you think me amused by your irresponsible conduct, know that I am not. Well, Graven Ash, there's something you need to know. Tunon is above you. And Verse is a useful ally. I need her on my side. At least until we get tired of each other. Don't worry, old man. I'm not going to drive a blade into your spine, not while you're wearing a breastplate as thick as the old walls anyway. Graven Ash glares at Verse and returns his severe expression back to you. His mouth is set to a disapproving line, and he seems on the brink of saying more, but waves off the matter. After what transpired at Wendrian's well, the disfavored must hold fast to our allies. You are here because of your support at the siege, but I don't mistake your confidence for devotion. Scarlet Chorus would not have you. Well, this is no way to convince me that I made the right choice, but I hope you can convince me. Convince you? It's hardly my job to convince you. Serving me will engender trust between us, and opportunities may allow you to rise above your standing. The educator's clerk can be my soldier for a time, not disfavored, but closer than most will ever get. What is it you require? My search for Amelia takes me to Rust Canyons. I'm pleased to hear of your progress. Rust Canyon was once a verdant path for travelers, and one of many choke points on the way to Sentinel Stand. Now it's merely a garbage heap, infested by rebellion. At first, the Unbroken are seeking artifacts there. That does make sense. With no means to kill Stratus Herodin from outside of Sentinel Stand, the only chance of breaching the wind wall would be through an artifact's power. Trouble is, the number of artifacts scattered about the realm is anyone's guess, and I couldn't tell you which of them could get the job done. If these rebels are committed to the task, it's possible they know something more. I believe it was the custom of each of the regions to travel with some artifact in their possession. All but one of their polluted bloodline killed during the conquest, the Unbroken are likely seeking a corpse among thousands. A fool's errand, but not an ignoble one. Unbroken leader is named Matthias. Matthias! I have not come across his name, but yours is the most recent intelligence you've dredged from the region, so I can well believe that it is true. Whatever he calls himself, this upstart should be killed to set an example for his would-be army. Should you come across him, I expect his head to topple from his shoulders in good order. So now you show your true face, Graven Ash. We'll see about that. I confirm that Amelia's unit was taken by Stratus Herodin's troops. Damn that corrupt inbred of a regent. If his death were not required to end the Edict of Storms, I would take pleasure in breaking him on the rack myself. I was devastated when Amelia's cohort vanished. Father's dread is not so different from a general's, and in my case, I am twice cursed to suffer the pain of her absence. I still feel her presence. It's grown stronger even, so I know that she lives, but I fear for her safety all the same. I received word that my disfavored have cleared a path to Rust Canyons that should prevent any rebels from entering or leaving the area. You should make contact with Theodore, the lieutenant in charge of the attack. He'll guide you from there. Well, thank you and farewell. That which remains. And now we have to walk all the way back here. That's the way it is. That's the way it is. That way we can look at that beautiful camp. And the wind effects that I really love. Wind is blowing. Torches are burning. Flames are playing in the wind. And we are going to the Rust Canyons. Oh, wait, there's something history thing about there. Kyros' magical storms bored through these once fertile hills, creating the winding, dust-strewn canyons present today. The process killed both disfavored and unbroken soldier alike, and now their corpses remain embedded in the earth. So they are not only Rust Canyons, they can also be called Corpse Canyons. That would be a nice name, right? But maybe a little bit over the top. The Corpse Canyons. We'll go to the Corpse Canyons now, guys, at least in the next episode.
By now, I'm sure the finest gear has already been picked out of the rocks.
So thank you for watching, and yeah, we'll see about what we can do in this goddamn place in the next episode. It's Judgment Day, and we are the law. Happy gaming to you. Have a nice time. Until the next episode, this is Immanuel signing out.